You are checking after the yes with Sarah Jane. Hey, hey, hey guys. She's back. And welcome again to After the Yes. It's Sarah Jane. Don't want to say host, one of the co-hosts, because you're not going to hear just the sound of my voice. And what do you think? She got a little extra dolled up and sip. She got a little extra dolled up because I have ding, 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 my very first guest today. So, I've been talking about it on my promos and leading in that I am bringing in my bride, Marie. I'm so excited to introduce her. So I'm saying my bride, and maybe I'm just used to that because as a wedding planner, once we decide to work together, I claim and I'm like, mine, my bride. But actually, Marie is not my client. And so I found out on Facebook for Facebook friends. I found out through Facebook that she got engaged. I saw the ring shot and then congratulations by Pretty Little Dessert. And then I hit her up, congratulations. And then I waited a few weeks and was like, hey, oh my gosh, you're exactly what I am talking about on After the Yes. Like you literally just got engaged. And the whole premise of the show is like, what do you do after the yes, right? Right? You're feeling it. You're feeling it. So what do you do after the yes? And so instead of me just going, yeah, you say yeah, and then you glow and you're looking at the ring, yada, yada, yada. Let's hear it from somebody else, right? And so I am excited to hear, how has it been? Y'all know I'm nosy. If you haven't figured it out, you will learn. I am excited to pick Marie's brain. She's going to join us soon, so you're going to hear the sound of my voice for a little longer. But I'm excited to pick her brain and just be like, so tell me. I've been telling my listeners like what it's like and stuff after the yes and what happens, and then how the process normally goes. And when you go from glowing and looking in the mirror and everything to starting going, oh snap, it's time for us to figure this ish out. So I'm going to go from what I think and what I would much imagine and have her tell us. So I'm going to be nosy. I'm going to pick her brain. And then, like I said, since I am not her wedding planner, if I can help at all and pick her brain, after she picks my brain, after I pick her brain, wait, look, I've barely even been sipping. So listen, after I pick her brain and be all nosy, if I can help at all, I'm going to let Marie pick my brain and see if I can help her at all and leading them down the path as they start their wedding planning journey. If I can do anything to make it easier, give them some tips, prepare them for the road ahead. Okay. And you know what? She's here. So I've been running my mouth and our guest is here. And I'm so excited. Marie, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. How are you?
Darling, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Wonderful.
First and foremost, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
How are you feeling? Like, are you like floating? Like how are you feeling?
It just feels so unreal. It's like emotions going through at like 100 miles an hour.
Oh,
Like it's like you happy, you sad, like, well, you didn't see this coming, and like, it was just like, this is really happening, you know? So it was like a lot of emotions all at once.
okay, okay. So, how are you feeling? How has it been?
It's been wonderful. We've been enjoying each other, like, um just to sit there and to talk about it, that, oh my god, we are engaged, both for the both of us. It's like unreal. Like, we didn't never thought this was gonna happen. He never thought he would have found someone, and so am I didn't think this was never gonna happen. At my age, it's like, it's like one in a million, unless you're a celebrity, you just get married all the time. But find someone, at 54 years old, to somebody who wants to spend the rest of their life with you and be like, I want to be with you. You the person for me, and I can imagine my life without you. So it was like, okay, where's this coming from? You know? So
Okay.
it was just it was it's an amazing feeling. It's like, you, I don't really know how to explain it. You happy, you sad. It's like a whole lot of emotions going in at the same time. But I'm
Wow.
like, right now I'm just so happy that it did happen. And just talking about it, or when we doing pillow talk and I'm looking at the ring, because the ring is like
Yeah,
unbelievable.
so
Like,
I have
he
a
did a
few
great
pauses.
job picking out the ring.
I have a few pauses here, okay? Because
Mhm.
there's a lot to bite on. So first, because I
Mhm.
know those people out there are
Mhm.
their mouth is already dropping. Okay, so before I go to the other thing that I know everybody's like, what the F she just say? First, can you hold up the ring so they can see? Because yes, he
Oh,
did not play. He
I
did
don't know.
not play. Yes, we can see the bling.
Oh, okay.
Well done. Well done. Well
Yeah,
done.
he did a great job,
He
and I
did
didn't
an
even know. It was like
amazing
all
job.
a
Okay,
big
and let me.
surprise. I didn't even know he knew the right size. He knew everything.
Okay, so we're dying to know. I'm definitely dying to know because I don't know
Mhm.
about how the engagement. Because I told everybody I was like, I am not Marie's wedding planner. I found out the tea on Facebook. And then I hit you up on Facebook, congratulations. And then I waited a
Mhm.
few weeks and I was like, you're the perfect person I need for my podcast. So before I get to you guys sharing me the tea on the proposal, I
Mhm.
know everybody's mouth just dropped because you literally just said 54. So just make sure we all heard you correctly.
Yes, actually, I just turned 55 last Friday. Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
First of all, okay, so first of all, I think we should say it's not too late. Don't give up hope
Never,
for
never.
everybody's out there. Don't give up hope. And 55, when we say that we don't crack, holy cow.
Amen
Okay?
to that. Exactly. We don't. I mean, most people like, no way. It's
No,
not
right.
possible.
Like we need
Yes,
to
yes,
see
it is.
proof. We need papers.
Yes, yes.
We need papers. So that's amazing. Okay, so you didn't know what he picked. You didn't know the proposal was coming. So can you just share with us, like, because obviously, like I told them already before you jumped on, what
Mhm.
I saw was like the ring and a cute little dessert that said like congratulations. So how did the proposal happen?
Yes. Well, he had planned this what, like, weeks ahead. All he said to me, babe, I'm taking you to this really nice restaurant, really fancy restaurant. But he didn't give me any detail. All he said, I want you to look really nice. So my response, I'm like, I always look nice when we go out. So what are you talking about? So at that point, I said, okay, something special must be coming. So I went shopping. I did all the detail. I went and bought a beautiful dress, and I was like looking magnificent. So he took me to the city. We went to this really like Michelin starred restaurant called Danielle in Manhattan. So when I walked in, everybody was like, "Hi, Mr. So and So. Hi, Mr. So and So." They were greeting us like we're like so really really nice. And so they took us to our table. It was like a special table all the way in the back. It was like a round table, like a private little area. So we sat there. I'm like, oh my God. I was just like in awe, like how amazing this place was. And so they came out with, like a list of champagne or wine or whatever you want. So I was like, so he picked out for me what kind of wine. So while we was waiting for the food, I guess everybody was on board. I didn't know everybody was on board, so they was kind of waiting. So and I'm sitting there talking, I'm just running my mouth, and I'm telling him that, how amazing he is with me, how great, how he treat me like a queen. He put me first in everything. Like, he wake up in the morning, make sure I have coffee ready. I mean, this man go above and beyond to do everything for me that I have never had anyone done for me in I would say my whole life. He put me first. Everything is me, me, me. So I was just telling that, I appreciate you. I'm really grateful, for the experience that we have had together, that we had shared. The next thing I know, he got up. So I'm thinking, oh, he's going to the bathroom, because he always going to the bathroom because he drank a lot of water. So I said, oh, he's going to the bathroom. Then I'm still like, in la la land, just yapping away. Next thing I know, he went around, and then next thing I know, he was on one knee. He was like, you are the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Would you marry me? So now looking like, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I kept saying, oh my God. Next thing I know, he put the ring in my hand, and I kind of, scooped him up and give him a kiss. I'm like, thank you so much. This is really, really beautiful. And I mean, I had a feeling that we was going to happen, but I didn't put all my hopes into it, because I didn't want to be disappointed if it didn't happen. Because so many times we hope for certain things and it don't happen. So I always put my guard out. If it happened, fine. If it didn't happen, it don't happen. But it did happen, and I'm so excited. I don't even know how to explain the emotions, the feelings that I'm going through. There are days I'm saying to myself, did you really just get engaged, or is this a dream? But it did happen, and I'm just ready now to start planning and doing all kind of stuff, and I'm just ready. Totally right.
My eyes sweating over here. Okay,
Yeah.
we are ready. That is
Yes.
amazing. And what's his name? I didn't
His
even
name
get.
is
We
well,
just
his name
jumped
is
through
William, but we call him Billy.
Billy.
Yes.
Okay, like
Dr.
he
Bill.
stepped it
I
up,
call him
and
Dr. Bill.
um, you said something. Even though this is like after the yes, and it's like about planning. I hope that for those that tune in, they are super inspired about um not settling, right? Because that wasn't the plan
Exactly.
of this, but you really talked about being patient and realizing your worth,
Exactly.
and the art of the wait is really what this, is about. Because I think often we become impatient, and we settle, or maybe take less than
What we
what we should
deserve.
get, right? Because we rather a little something than nothing. And so, but listening to everything that you have received, and all the joy and contentment that you're experiencing right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
In abundance,
Yes.
shows, right, that the art of the wait,
Yes.
the
It's
blessings
worth
will
it.
come. So
It's all worth it.
it's all
Definitely.
worth it. So there's so many ahas that you just blessed us with. So that's amazing. So you're still having pinch me moments, because it's still brand new. It just happened
Yes.
last month. So you're still having pinch me moments. So then so tell me then, like, how long from like, oh my gosh, it happened, it's real, because you're still saying that now.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point though, as you're going through that though, did you, like, how long did it take to go, all right, babe, so how are we going to go about this? Or did you kind of have conversations before the ring? How did you go from, oh my gosh, we're engaged, to, babe, we need to figure out how we're going to get married?
Well, the thing is, we were planning on moving in together.
Okay.
And I said to him, I will not move in with a man. Excuse me. I will not move with a man unless there's a bigger commitment.
Okay. Let me
And
cheers to
again,
that.
we have to
Let me
stop
cheers to
settling
that.
for nothing because you get nothing. So if you put your
Mm-hmm.
cards down from day one, you let them know this is what I want, what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm willing to accept, and that's what you're gonna get. But if
Okay.
I let him know I'm not, if yes, I'm okay with us moving in together, but it has to be official, which means we have to be more than just I'm your girlfriend because I am way too old to be somebody's girlfriend. I'd rather be somebody's significant other or your fiance or something, but I'm not gonna be a little girlfriend or your side chicks. I'm been there, done that. So that's what we
I
talked about,
mean,
and he
the
knew. So if we're gonna stay together, we're gonna live together. I need a ring on my finger, and that's what he did,
the
and he
lessons that
honored
are
that.
being the lessons that
Hmm.
are being dropped. This is supposed to be like after the yes, like tidbits for wedding planning, but the tea that is being dropped right
Hmm.
now is amazing. Okay, so that's how that came about.
Correct.
So the ring is on. Did it happen like the next day, the next week? How did you transition to let's start talking about planning a wedding?
I think, well, to be honest, I think before we even I got engaged, like when we first met, maybe 6 months into the relationship, I think at that point he knew that he wanted to make me wifey. And we
Mm-hmm.
used to always talk about, if we get married, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. We talked about it, but I didn't think it was gonna happen this soon because it's only been we've been dating for a year before this happened. This
Okay.
actually happened on our week of an anniversary when we first met.
Okay.
So we talked about it, but we didn't kind of, it was just throwing stuff out there. Let them know what I like, what I don't like. And I
Okay.
did kind of say, "Ooh, I love this ring." He would ask me question, "What do you like?" And what kind of ring would you like? Like sneaky. What's your finger size? Little stuff like that. So
Right.
he knew. You know. But
Right.
yes, I mean, we talked about it because again, when you meet someone after a couple dates, you need to know where you stand because I don't have time to waste.
Right. And when you know, you know.
Exactly.
Right? Like
And
tomorrow is not promised. When you know,
exactly.
you know. And when you find that person, like you're ready to live your life with the person
Yes.
of your dreams. So when
You know,
you know. All right. So
and
essentially, what you're saying is you had a head start, right? Because
hmm
you guys kind of had already started talking about that. So sounds like fairly soon after the ring was officially on, you kind of knew what direction you wanted to go in once it was official, as far as like looking for venues. Is that where you started?
no, I mean, once I got the ring, the next step was to go to his mom. We had to go let mommy know because
Okay.
she had no clue. She had
Okay.
a feeling because he told her that, "Ma, I really love this girl and I want to spend the rest of my life with her." And she kind of knew, but she didn't think it was going to happen this soon. So the
Okay.
next day we went to his mother house and to show we did it in person, not a phone call, not a text message. We went
Yes.
in person. We went there to show him that we were engaged.
Okay.
And she was
Wonderful.
overwhelmed. She was very happy, that I think the main thing is that her son is happy.
That's what most
And
parents want for their kids. That's what
yes,
most parents want for
and
their
she
kids.
see that he's happy, he's like got a glow. And when a mother see that, they're going to automatically embrace that woman. And
Yes.
that's what they did with
As it
me,
should be. As it should
you know.
be. That's amazing. All right. So we took care of mom because the
Mhm.
parental unit, the blessing of the parental units is super important. So we got mom out the way. We got
Mhm.
mom's confirmation and blessing. And I just did this topic last week. So you can tell me, did you go straight into what kind of wedding did we want, or did you talk about budget first?
No, we didn't talk about budget, but we talked what kind
Okay.
of wedding we want. We both want
Okay.
something elegant because we're on the same page. We
Okay.
don't want no mediocre wedding. We want something
Okay.
beautiful, but classic. It doesn't have to be 300 people, but we want something that's elegant and something beautiful where when everybody walk in or when he see me, he gonna be like, wow. This we were looking for the wow factor. So yes,
Okay.
money is a topic, because you don't want to just go broke because you're planning a wedding. It is a topic, but right now we just looking for the place that fit us,
Got it. Okay.
because him and I are very similar.
Hmm.
We like filet mignon. I don't like just regular T-bone steak. So we're
Okay.
gonna go for somewhere they're gonna give me that.
Okay. Got it. So even though you guys didn't talk about budget, you kind of already knew the parameters of where you wanted to be. So I feel like I want to like interject, right? Because the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I'm saying this is because last week's topic was about budget, and it was about before you even like start going to places, you kind of want to know, like have that talk. And I was like, the B word, budget, is because you want to be in the mindset of really knowing what you're doing and where you need to be before you go there. But I feel like because you guys are a little older and you
Mm-hmm.
had conversations and already ideas
Mm-hmm.
of what you wanted, I feel like you kind of had already covered it even
Mm-hmm.
before the engagement happened. So you
Yeah.
already were familiar with your likes, and your taste, right?
Correct.
Because I get the sense you both are of a particular age and style. So he already knows his lady, future wife,
Mm-hmm.
is filet mignon. And it sounds like you said you went to a Michelin star. So you already know what kind of taste and price bracket you're
Correct.
working with, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably why you didn't hit that first. Okay. So now tell me, since then, what
Mm-hmm.
have you guys done so far?
Well, so far we went to see a couple venues.
Okay.
Trying to contact, like a photographer, a private band, because that's what he prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also trying to get a DJ. We looking into, like again, the budget part of it, to see where you could get the best price.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
flowers, we had a venue, so we did see a venue. We did pick out a venue
Okay.
together.
And how was that? How did that feel? Were you excited? Did it feel overwhelming? Were you like, oh, snap?
We were,
Like, how was that
excited
experience?
because when we walked in, the place was so beautiful. Right then and there, we was like, "This is the place. This is where we want to get married." Like we walked around, and it was like, "This is us. This fit us perfectly."
Okay. So when
So
you know.
when you know. And again, like I say, we not 20 years old. We're not 30 years old. We are a very seasoned couple, so we know what we want, and you know what
Season. Love
what you're
that
gonna.
word. Right.
So
Right.
when you younger, you kind of bounce around and trying to decide. But when you older, like you say, if I'm gonna set $50,000, $30,000 for a budget, this is the budget. We're gonna stick to it.
Right.
So we
Right.
know what we want, and we're gonna go with this particular place, which
Okay,
is
wonderful.
immaculate.
Wonderful. So you
And
found
it's
a
it
place.
suit
So
both of us. It'll suit our guests.
that's wonderful because I've worked with couples 2, 3, 4 months and they can't settle on a venue. So to find a venue and to love the venue, that's fantastic. So you guys are definitely making headway.
Yes.
So finding a venue, and it looks like you've already jumped right into vendors. You guys started on guest list.
Well, we haven't worked on a guest list yet.
Okay.
I figure once everything is booked, the date is set, then you could kind of give yourself time to do like save the date and all this, the next step. Because I'm like trying to follow a guideline of what to do and how to do it. Because again, yes, I'm the age that I am, but this is kind of new to me.
Right, because this is your first.
This
So
is very new to me because
for everybody
I
that
never been.
knows, you've never
Exactly.
been married before. This is
No.
your very
Right.
first wedding. So
Exactly.
you're gonna go through everything like a first time. Everything is
Yes.
new to you, right?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
very new to me.
absolutely,
And again, like,
absolutely.
he reassure me all the time. Like he noticed that sometimes I get a little tense. He like, babe, everything's gonna be okay. Just relax. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Because as
Everything is
women, we
going to be
want this, this way, that way, this way. So to have the reassurance to let me know everything's gonna be okay, to me, it just make me feel so much better. You
Yes.
know.
Deep breaths, deep breaths. So, I'm going to share just a couple things with you that I hope helps you because, like I told them, I'm not your wedding planner. And then I hope, like, you can ask me anything and hopefully it helps you guys as you're going through, like, your wedding planning process, right?
Mhm.
So everything that Billy just said is right. Um, don't get so caught up engulfed in the wedding planning process that
Mhm.
you forget to date, right?
Exactly.
Because so many what I've experienced is so many couples, it's almost like the relationship almost becomes frozen in time the moment the engagement happens. And what I mean is frozen is it doesn't grow, it just stays right where I yes happened
Mhm.
because then they throw themselves into the wedding planning. And so they almost like live it, eat, breathe it, sleep it. And it becomes like a life of its own. And you still want to be the couple who you were. You still want to keep dating and
Correct.
living. And so you don't want that to like engorge like the relationship. And so, because you still need to get ready to embark on the next chapter of your lives, right? And
Yes.
so when that becomes like every conversation, morning, noon, and night, sometimes you're forgetting to still keep feeding the all the things that got you to that proposal, right?
Exactly.
And so that's definitely something that I would share. The other thing that I would share is I find that um, your friends and family become super excited for you. And so when you share details with them, they think that means you're inviting their opinion. And
Yeah.
so often I say, although they're doing it out of love, unless you want a lot of outside opinions, keep it to
And I don't.
yourself. Okay.
I,
Keep it to
I don't.
yourself.
Because the problem is
Otherwise,
that people, if I say I like this dress, oh well, when I bought my dress was this amount. That's you, that's not me. So do not compare.
exactly. So that's exactly what I was going to say
Mm-hmm.
is they just find that although you might just share the smallest things because you're excited, once
Yes.
you share that, they think that means you want opinions and then you'll continue to get them. So limit those opinions
Of course.
and who you share with. That's
Mm-hmm.
for certain. Um so and then the other thing in regards to reaching out to vendors.
Okay.
Um, a lot of times, vendors can pressure you when you're reaching out and be like, somebody just contacted me about this date. Do you know what you want to do? And here's what I feel like. Just like you fell in love instantly with the venue,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that everything happens as it should. And don't ever feel pressured to make a decision um, based on somebody else's timing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just find that I have found historically that happens a lot. And it seems that happens a lot more when couples don't have a wedding planner, that
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you reach out to a vendor and then like 2 days later, ironically, somebody just reached out to them with the very same date.
Oh,
Which is like a pressure tactic to get you to move forward,
okay.
with them.
Gotcha.
So I would say, I don't want to say okey doke as in it's dishonest, but I'm just saying don't feel pressured by that. Um, and then all the vendors that you book, um, despite what their portfolio looks like and even the
Mm-hmm.
pricing, those are all people that you will work with for the most part, majority of the day, right?
Okay.
Specifically, like the photographer and like the DJ. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to feel that vibe. You want to make sure that
Of
vibe
course.
is there, right? And so, because you want that connection. So I'm always like, okay, the resume is great, but you don't. We're not all for everybody. And so we still want to make sure that we can have that genuine connection with the photographer that's going to be in our face all day and giving us direction and stuff. And with the DJ that you want to make sure keeps the dance floor full, that he gets you and he has that good vibe. So
Yes.
sometimes even though like they have 105 stars, you know, and a great price, you might talk and do a consultation with them and you're like, oh, he's got great reviews, but when you spoke to them, like the connection wasn't
Yeah.
there. So
Got it.
don't necessarily feel pressured because of what everything else says. What you feel in that consultation stage is equally as important as
Mhm.
everything written, you know?
Okay. Good
So,
advice. Thank you.
yeah, so that's what I advise. So now you're calling, you're doing all this stuff, and I know you guys are both super busy. So I would imagine that there's a lot of like calling, leaving messages, emailing, and then now you guys are doing phone tag and stuff like that. So is there anything, you know, when I reached out to you, you know a little bit about my background, you know, I've been doing
Mhm.
this for a hot minute. And I know a thing or two even
Yeah.
about the New Jersey wedding scene. So do you have any questions for me that I might be able to help
I do,
you some?
like, how soon should you start booking these vendors?
So, you know what? We don't want to know your date, but
Mhm.
what month? Because there's some months that are definitely more
We
popular than others.
definitely, we were told like May, June, September is like peak season.
Okay.
So we're
So
looking at around in June
okay.
or May to
Okay.
do it.
All right.
So
So
sometime in
definitely those months,
Mhm.
those months for sure
Okay.
are popular months. So you would definitely want to, as soon as you have your date locked in with your
Mhm.
venue,
Okay.
May, June, they are definitely correct. And so what I like to say is you want to be able to obtain the top vendors that you really like versus the vendors that are left over. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yes.
And so if you have like a top 3 or 4, which is what I generally offer to my clients,
Okay.
the top 3 or 4 that seem to match their style and their budget, normally we can find 1 or 2 that are available.
Okay.
So after you lock in your venue solidified, the date is solidified, then I would look into 4 that are going to fit like your budget and then reach out to them to do those
Okay.
consultations and things like that. Because I feel like if you lock in your photographer and your like your DJ,
Okay.
others, you know, like florists, they do actually multiple a day, you know, because
Okay.
majority of them are going to deliver bouquets and centerpieces. They can do a couple, you know, a day. So it's not as urgent
Got it.
as some of the, you know, as like a great photographer or a great DJ. So that's kind of like how I would look at that. And then the other things, May or June, I don't know how many out of towners that you're going to have, but things like save the dates. Another thing, I feel like that's a good place to like take a rest.
Okay.
So after you've locked in the venue,
Mhm.
photographer, DJ, I think that's a good place to take a rest. And then 9 months before, if you have a lot of people coming from out of town,
Okay.
you can do the save the dates. If you need a room block, which means if you have more than, you know, 10, 15 people coming from out of town, a room
Okay.
block would be appreciated so they can get a discounted room someplace close to the venue.
Got it.
And then like the wedding dress, normally you don't need more than, you know, 11, 12 months if you have it ordered, but you can
Are
find
you
great.
serious? A year before to get the dress?
Well, here's the
Oh
thing.
my God. That's a long time.
Well, here's the thing. There's some places that if you don't give them at least 9 months, they're not even going to F with you.
Really?
If you want it ordered. But hey, if you're a layback kind of bride, which I get the sense you are, you can get amazing deals buying off the rack or during a trunk show. Like you can get 50% or more off your dress by getting something off the rack, which means the dress is already made, you're buying it as is, and then you
Oh,
can get it altered. Or
okay.
during a trunk show where they're bringing designs and things that were already made or it's getting ready to be discontinued. So the designer actually comes, or representatives of the designer bring like 2023, 2024, and everything they have is what they have. And you find something you love, and then again, you can have your seamstress do what you want. Like I've seen dresses that were like $6,000, $7,000 that were like $900,
Wow.
and they were able to buy it and then just take it to a seamstress. So there's amazing things like if you're
Okay.
open to that, that you can do that. But if you're like you just have no idea what direction you want to go in, and with a crazy schedule, sometimes it can take 3 or 4 places. If you have a crazy work schedule, if you want people to go with you, it can take
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 months of
Just
going to
process.
places just to get an
Good.
appointment in, get a couple people to go with you. Then you go an hour and a half and then don't like anything. So now you're scheduling for someplace else. So
Good to
so
know.
that's why I say that. But if you have the flexibility, and you're open to off the rack or a trunk show, there's
No,
definitely
not
great
me.
deals to be made.
But I'm sure they do have them. But like you said, with my schedule, it's very hard for me to just attend to stuff like that. And
Right.
another question I have: do you recommend to get a wedding planner, and what are their roles?
Wow. I wasn't prepared for that question, but you know what? No, and I'm not saying this honestly for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing this for 15 years. I don't know how people do it without. I'm gonna like talk real shit, pardon my French.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like just all the things that you're talking about, you know, for somebody that does it on a regular basis, they're able to sort through all the crap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Mhm.
so your wedding planner is gonna get to know you and Billy a little bit,
Okay.
right? And know exactly what your budget is, what your taste is, the thing that you're talking about, like the band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what kind of band, how much you want to spend on the band. And she's going to measure the cost for the band with everything else to be
Okay.
like, okay, this, we know how much we want to, then you need to spend on the photographer, and that you need to spend on, you know, the flowers and all the other
Mm-hmm.
things that you need. Do you want paper invitations, electronic, save the dates? Do you actually need a room block? Like some of the things that we've talked about, are you going to do wedding favors? Do you want any kind of special effects? Do you want a 360 video booth? Does your venue come with uplighting? You know, so there's so many other things, right? Are
Okay.
you going to need transportation? So there's so many other things. Are you going to work on a timeline? Are you going to see each other before or after? What about hair and makeup? Are you having a bridal party? So there's so many other things. And then what's going to happen is you are not making any phone calls. You're not scheduling any consultations. So your wedding planner is going to do all of that for you. And
Okay.
then what they're going to do is they're going to do the heavy lifting and the legwork. And then they're going to put you and Billy in the driver's seat so you guys can make the decisions.
Okay.
Right. So they look up 4 bands. They find out the pricing, make sure they're available based on the date, your wedding date. And then they send you the links, the IG, and you guys go, we like these two. So then they set up the consultations for you and go, okay, you guys were both available Thursday night at 7. They send you the Zoom links, and then you go, okay, we talked to these two, we like them. Then they get the contracts or proposals for you. And then you
Okay.
say, okay, I like, you understand what I'm saying?
Got
So it
you.
takes out, it's giving you your time back.
Yes.
Right. And then that is their wheelhouse. So there's so
Yes.
many things that you're not familiar with, um, that they are. And a lot of times because they're aware of the arena and the lingo,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times couples don't realize that they're actually going to save money with the wedding planner. Sometimes they go, oh
Okay.
my gosh, 6,000 for a wedding planner, 7,000, whatever. But there's so many times that you can just be taken for a loop, or you don't know what you don't know. And so you
True.
think
And
you don't
that's what
know
I'm
one,
afraid
you know
of.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then here's my thing, like, do you really want to jeopardize that? Because you're never going to get that day back,
No.
right? You're never going to get that day back. You do not want to leave that day to Aunt Sue or, cousin Beth. And the wedding planner is a person that manages all of the above, actually,
Okay.
right? They're making sure that, you know, the DJ's on time, that the photographers where they're supposed to be, that the first course is out, like they're the one that makes sure everything runs in congruency. But it
Okay.
allows you, you know what I mean? So I would
To
definitely
enjoy to
say
enjoy your
to
day and
enjoy,
enjoy
not
the
just to
time.
enjoy your day, but to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the process. Because
Mm-hmm.
after you've worked and have all these things to stress about returning phone calls, or you miss them again, say you're not done with work till 7 o'clock, but now like the venue is closed or it's after business hours. So now like you only have 30 minutes for lunch and you have to try to play phone tag with you know what I mean? So like all those
Yeah.
things, when that is what somebody does, so they
Mm-hmm.
know exactly the questions to ask and how to
Of
handle
course.
things and stuff like that. So I just think they make life easier, um, and know what to do and how to make it a seamless experience. So the answer is yes. And the vibe
Okay.
is definitely important because I'm talking about you connecting with somebody on a day. The wedding planner is somebody that you're going to work with continuously throughout nine
The whole
months, 10
process.
months, the whole process, right? And you're going to make
Correct.
sure like they got your back and they understand your language so you don't have to worry about a thing.
Good. Well, thanks for that.
Yes,
Clarifying that.
yes,
Thank you. Because
yes.
that was like a big thing. I just wanted to know, do we need it? Or is it something that, would be helpful? And with both of us work and our schedule is like crazy, you definitely need someone that have your back.
Right. Because
Someone you could say,
imagine getting
hey,
home. Yeah, imagine getting home and like you said, your schedules are crazy and you'd love to just
hmm
get on the couch with some wine, but now you have like a list of stuff to do
exactly.
for the wedding versus someone's taking care of that for us
Yeah. So
and
far
they
I
have to
have
know about
hired
it.
a stylist
Oh,
to
okay.
work with me.
Okay,
So
so is she gonna pick like help you with like wedding dress styles or
yeah,
what is she doing?
she said, she's helping me with the wedding dress. She's already booked sessions for me to go try on dresses in New York.
Okay.
So yeah, the process is moving along, and I'm glad you told me that I need so many months ahead to
Mm-hmm.
get the dress. Because I'm
Right.
thinking, oh,
Because
you could just go get a dress. Well, apparently not.
well, a
So
stylist will definitely help cut the time because
mm-hmm.
she's probably sending you ideas and looks and you're telling her, and so she's not going to send you to some place that's going to waste your time. So
Yes.
she's definitely helping you get ahead of the game
Mm-hmm.
because normally brides just kind of wander, pull
Mm-hmm.
out little things and go, I'm not sure. So
Yes.
the stylist helps streamline things for
Yeah,
you
so that's what
for
she
sure.
kind of like, tell me what you like, show me pictures, and then I'm gonna make sure that they have this ready for you to try on when you
Yeah.
get there because it's a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but she's been wonderful so far.
Oh, wonderful. What's her name? Because I'm sure people.
She called herself Bridal Chicks.
Oh, Bridal Chicks. Fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
and
I'll have to look
I
her
met
up.
her through Instagram. Like she traveled with the day of the wedding. She's there with the client. She do the steaming. She helped the client get dressed, and she's there. She do make sure everything is how the dress is supposed to be, how it should be.
I fully support bridal
Yes.
stylist. I think it's great because if you don't want to put your bridal party to work, your family to work,
Mhm.
and you want all of them to kind of have like a wonderful experience on the wedding
Mhm.
day, having
Mhm.
a bridal stylist that's gonna, zip you up, tie you up, whatever style your dress is,
Exactly. Whatever needs to
and
be
all those
done, and
things. If
it
you're gonna change, right,
alleviates some
all
of the
that needs to
pressure.
be done, it eliminates some of
Yes.
the pressure. So
Yes.
I love that. So you're already in fabulous
Yes.
hands.
But like
So
I said, I'm just so excited about the whole, I want to enjoy the experience. I don't want to get like I don't want to be a bridezilla. I want to enjoy the experience. I don't want to stress him out. Like you say, I want us to continue to go out on our dates. Like tonight, we're going out to dinner. I still
right,
want to do fun things
exactly,
that, that
right.
we've been doing.
Right.
The
See, you have
whatever
the right
capture him,
idea.
I want to continue to have that, commitment, connection. I want us to
Exactly.
continue to have everything we have from day one till the end of our life. So even
Exactly.
after the I do, I want to continue to date. I don't want to just say, oh well, now we married and life is
Right.
over.
See,
I
you
don't
should
want that.
exactly whatever it took to get you there and to the I do, you want to keep doing. And it sounds like
Correct.
you are already aware of that. And so you're doing the right moves to
Well, thank you. Thank
keep
you.
that going. So I hope you'll
Yes.
come back and
Definitely. I would
just
love to be
keep us
invited back.
in touch of like the because I feel like now we're all invested. Like we heard like this
Yes,
love
yes,
story
yes. You want to
thing.
know the final
So
details.
right. So I feel like we're invested. So we'll have to
Yes.
like come back like halfway through and
Yes.
then
I
like
would
right
love to.
before the I do. But
Yes.
thank you for
Yes.
giving us a peek
Thank
into
you.
like just everything, and we're so like I am, but I feel like I can speak for those that tune in. We're so super thrilled and excited for you. So have a
Thank you
wonderful
so
date
much.
night, okay? And
Yes.
tell them we all approve. Tell Billy we all
Yes,
approve
yes, yes,
of the
yes.
ring and well done. And I think we all know like you're in amazing hands. So thank you so much,
Yes, yes.
Lori.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Thank you
night.
for
Take
having me.
care.
Take care.
Congrats
Bye-bye.
again.